I am joined by Saj Ghafoor, who is part of Multicultural Cumbria, and you've got a very big event coming on Thursday. So what's your role and what's going on Thursday?
Well, I'm CEO of Multicultural Cumbria, and part of what we do are run events to engage, enable and empower ethnic minorities. And the event we've got coming up is on October the 7th, on this Thursday, Race2B Conference. And we're talking about enabling race equality. So we have quite a range of speakers. We've got 10 different speakers, including myself. And we'll be talking about various elements of what we feel is sometimes missed in conversations, and just raising that awareness about the diasporas that live and work in Cumbria, and getting that range of topics really from different perspectives.
Well, I love it. I've had a look at the speakers list, and it's absolutely amazing because you've got people who are experts in their field of education, of healthcare, not just about retention of talent and inviting people into our community and making them feel like they have a home, they can build a home for their families, but they're contributing to our healthcare system, but also with health outcomes. And that's obviously been a big talking point over the pandemic, is making sure that we're reaching these communities that are being underserved. But you also have these experts, but you also have sort of personal stories as well, and looking at the community. And I think that's part of what you're going to be speaking about is what Multicultural Cumbria does and those groups that you're reaching out to. So what do you see as sort of your responsibility and as you say, to empower, to engage? How do you do that?
For me, it's really just about talking to people and finding out what they want, what they need. And quite often the one missing gap is there is very little opportunity to socialise if you're from a certain background, people where you feel more comfortable with. And I have said on a number of occasions, for everybody that's experienced COVID restrictions, well, welcome to our world, because that's how we really end up living our lives, where we're quite isolated. We don't necessarily have family nearby, so we can't go and visit them. And it's just that total sense of just feeling lonely. Mm-hmm. And that goes right across the board. And it doesn't matter whether, just like COVID, really, it takes no prisoners. That sense of feeling of not really being in an environment where you feel safe or secure, or a sense of belonging more than anything, impacts on every single person, everywhere really. And whether you're a doctor, whether you're a nurse, whether you're in the hospitality trade and the catering trade, no matter who you are, what your job is, that sense of isolation is very, very apparent, and it's just getting bigger and bigger because the level of opportunities seem to have shrunk so much more since COVID. And I really hope that as we develop, that we are looking into the gems that we have within the ethnic minority, with over 70 languages spoken in Cumbria. That does not indicate that we are not diverse. We are, but it's not an area that's really been invested in, and it's been much more of a tick box exercise, and equality and diversity have been delivered in isolation rather than actually engaging with the communities. And that's because it's so hard to do, because you don't know where they are necessarily. And it's just easy when those voices are not there, when people don't know who to talk to, who to speak to, how to engage more in the wider community, how to bring people together and connect in such a rural county, that the voices just don't seem to permeate the air really. So this is what we are about. This is about giving as many people a voice as we can and say, look, we don't profess to know everything about every culture or every identity, but you are what you are, and you're very, very special, and you are valuable, and you are wanted. And the only way we can move forward is really asking people to get involved and put their head above the parapet and do this as a collective. And collaboration for us is absolutely key to everything we've always done. And we have our allies. And I do struggle with still using colour as a description, because it's also been a way of causing barriers, whether you're black, you're white, you're brown. And I think we're so much more than that. So for having the opportunity really at Race2B Conference is about seeing and listening to those aspects from our allies as well as from the communities themselves.
Well, in that spirit of connection and what you said about that, having people sort of realize and to hear that you're special, that you are an important contribution, that's something that I think everybody can identify with, because we do have that need of feeling like we belong and that we are a positive part of our community. And in that spirit of connection, this is actually a free online event, which I love, because it is sort of such a wonderful list of speakers, and to be able to hear these different stories, which a lot of times, to be honest, we don't get to. So going back to, it's a free event, but you do need to reserve tickets, and it's Thursday from 9:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. I can't believe you're going to get through all that in that time period. But how do I reserve my ticket?
You can go onto Eventbrite for Race2B Conference. You can just go onto our website, mcc1.org.uk, and we've got the Race2B Conference on there, and it'll just guide you through to book a free ticket. And we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, Multicultural Cumbria Race2B Conference 2021.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be happening this Thursday, so it's very important that people go and get your tickets, although I know you can get them on the morning as well. And again, thank you so much for being a part of my show today and for creating this wonderful event.
Thank you so much. And the reason it is free is because we want to reach as many people as possible. And to us, making sure that the information is out there at a local level is absolutely crucial. So thank you for having me on.